So let's start draping on this dress form with the intention to create shirt sloper, okay? First, we need to take measurements, and please write down measurements. Okay, so across shoulder is still 18 1/4. Chest is 42. Make sure it's even and straight, like this. Waist is 37. And the fullest hip, the fullest part of it, 43. So we also need a neck circumference, guys, mostly for shirt. So bottom of the neck here that's pretty big neckline. So 17 3/4. Okay, cool. And you usually need a higher middle neck too, but we'll get there. Let's start the draping. There's few ways to create a sloper. I can do a flat drafting, copying some shirts that you have, or through the draping. I just want you to understand when you drape, you will understand human body a lot better. I'm gonna pin the center front first, like this and this. Perfecto. Now we're gonna cut this off right here, cut this here, cut this here, cut here, 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 see? And just cut it this way because this will help the neckline to curve better. Like this. Perfecto. And now I'm gonna just push pin at the shoulder, like this. So as you see, first I'm pushing at the shoulder slope. Shoulder slope is what hangs, you know. So now here, I'm gonna go like this, straight across like this and push like this. So I see this excess here. Well, what can I do? You know, like this, but if I pin it here, and I pin it here, like this. So we cannot have the dart for men's, right? So I do get the excess. I can rotate this a little bit into the neckline because see this excess? If you rotate a little bit better. So it gave us a little extra at the neckline, which is fine. It improved here. Do you understand? So it's okay if I get, you know why it's okay to get a little bit extra in the front neckline? We have this bone right here protruded, and then dress forms don't have it. So I'm okay to have this excess here to clean part here. The same applies to women. Cool. Now, what I'm gonna do about it? Nothing. It's okay, just a little excess. It doesn't have to be perfect tailored. If I want this perfectly tailored, if I was doing the jacket from this, I would rotate this one into the tiny little dart here. See what I mean? The jackets have darts here, remember? And then I don't have to worry about that little thing. Yeah? Okay, so now all I need is here to mark my shoulder, like here, whatever looks right to me. You know, because eventually for the shirt, we're gonna create a yoke. And I can even mark the yoke line here, just in case. And I'm gonna mark the neckline here, here, and then I'm just gonna mark the blades here, and the side seam here, and I'm gonna move to the back. This is cool. I never draped the men's sloper before. It's always first time, even at my age. Front is done, let's drape the back. Okay, this is not a muslin, we just used available cotton fabric. So I am going to pin this up here so that there's an intersection. And then I'm going to pin this to center back here and center back down here. Super. So this is not gonna have a center back seam, guys. If I were doing a jacket is a different draping. So if you've seen like a pinstripe jackets have a lot of seam, right? You've seen that, right? Mm-hmm. In menswear. This is a shirt. So all I need is this, and up here, this. So since I don't have a seam, I'm just taking my grain line and pinning the grain line to the center back. If I had a seam, I would do a different pinning. Okay, so now I pinned in a few places in the center back. Okay, so now I'm going to find my neckline roughly. So if I just follow the seam on the dress form, like this, and it's connected to the front, and going to see this here, right? So now I have my guideline for the front shoulder, right? So I'm just gonna put it over here like this. Make sure I don't stretch it. Okay, and right here I need to cut this. Cut it like this. Sorry about the scissors. Okay, and then if I just leave this one again like this and this, there's a lots of excess fabric here. So since we're doing a yoke shirt, I can just put a dot right here and not here. See what I mean? So that's what it needs to be clean here. And then it's asking you for the dart here. See, or you don't have a dart here, then if you want to clean here, then it's asking you dart here. Okay, so since we're doing a shirt now, we can just add a seam here, create the seam of the yoke, like now, like this, and then rotate this dart into this yoke. However, you can still use this slope for a t-shirt, except you're not gonna have any. You're gonna have a little excess here, or you're gonna put little ease here, and you can still use this for a t-shirt. Okay, cool. So let's put this fullness up this way. So here we need quarter on the double, for sure. And then we're gonna see on Lasha what we need. And Lasha's gonna have the best shirt on the planet.
Did you just kind of guess where that yoke line is at?
Oh, I know the yokes, and it's probably, this is approximately 4-inch yoke is the standard. First you pin it, a few places, 1 or 2, that's all you need. Perfect. Good job. Now mark my shoulder.
Right
Yep.
here?
Yep, yep, you can see through.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Perfection. And we have the back yoke. Let's rest this piece of cake. And then we're gonna transfer this to the paper. But before that, I wanna measure my model too. And we gotta do armhole, guys. We'll see. What happens in with lots of shirts have a slightly drop shoulder, men's. Like it slightly curves out the shoulder. Satin sleeve is where the sleeve is right at the top of your cross shoulder. And the drop shoulder is passes your cross shoulder. Okay? So we can figure out what kind of, like you have a drop shoulder, you have almost satin sleeve. So we can do like in between like yours, okay? So if his natural shoulder is right here, I can just mark this natural shoulder just in case. Now I'm gonna use the same formula as ladies. Cross front to be 2.5 inch less than the cross shoulder. So if from here to here, so we determine this, and now I'm gonna join this with the armhole like this. We can use that armhole curve, or I can do by eye, Remember that armhole curve we have? Anybody have that curve? Or this to this. Now,
No, I missed that.
across back supposed to be half or 3/4 less than across shoulder for set in sleeves. Okay? So if this is 9 1/8, 8 7/8 is fine. Okay? And then you join this with this, and you just have this part have to be almost straight, so it's like a saddle. You gotta put the arm in to be comfortable. Make sure you don't have like a V point there. Okay, cool. And now I can trace this over and move it on the paper. However, I still wanna measure my supermodel from Milan. Okay, so lashes cross shoulder is here to here, 18 1/4, just like this. How awesome is that? So now I'm gonna measure his chest. Hold it in the front so that it doesn't move. So chest is 44. What was the dress form?
42.
42. Okay, easy correction, easy correction. So waist is 40. The full hip, just lower your tape where your full hip is, right there, right? And full hip is 43. 43. Okay.
That's perfect.
Sleeve length. You measure from the center back like this to this, and fold your arm a little bit forward like this. Sorry. Here to here to this ankle. So he's got 34.5. Okay. And we also need a muscle for the shirt. Muscle is measured here at 13 3/4. So, and I'm measuring arm depth. Arm depth here, from here to here, is 6 1/4. Okay, from here to here. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So since his armhole depth was 6 1/4, it's okay to keep this at 7 1/4 on the pattern. And now we're gonna remove this and transfer to the paper.